What's going on today is we're looking at clearing out this little 10 by 20 shed that was sitting here on the property. Yeah, it has a bunch of stuff in it that's going to end up at a yard sale or whatever, or doled out to the family, and we got a couple that's interested in purchasing this for use out at their place not too far from here. So that's what's going on today. So that's just one of the things that's going to go on today, Wednesday, January 6th, 2021, and Happy New Year. I'm Farmer Dave. Stay tuned to see what else is going on around the farm this week. One of my friends and fellow co-workers, Carrie, in town where my in-town job is, asked me the other day about whether or not I was doing organically grown, natural grown, or if I was loading the garden plot up with a bunch of pesticides and other chemicals. And the garden plot is right out there on the other side of the old outhouse. So, Carrie, I've got an answer for you. Now, Carrie, there's 3 different ways you can grow crops here in the United States. The first being traditional methods. That means applying herbicides, pesticides, all that sort of chemical type stuff. That's what current traditional farmers are doing and using. Then 2, you have the organic farms. Now then, that's what you were asking me about the other day. Organic farming involves a lot of soil sampling, analysis, inspections, hundreds of pages of paperwork, and it takes a long time to get certified to be an organic gardener. And quite frankly, if this was all I had to do every day of my life was to sit down and fill out government forms and send it to them along with a check of money that I'm not generating because I'm not growing anything right now, yeah, I would probably do it, but I got to win the lottery first. So third option is grow everything organically, but just not have it certified. So that's where we're going to call it the natural grown method. There won't be any pesticides used that aren't organic, i.e. ladybugs like to eat aphids. So, the little bitty aphid larvae and ladybugs, there you go. How much more organic is that? And that's what we're going to be practicing here at Nelson Creek Farms. So, Carrie, be rest assured, your food will be safe to eat. Well, I'm back in the house now, out of the cold wind and whatever, and I looked at the weather forecast here on the computer just a little bit ago. Got my sweetened iced tea ready to go. We are going to have a triple whammy of what they call it, exceptional tropical storms or something like that, meaning hurricane force winds will be hitting the Pacific coastline of southeast Alaska and Canada. So that will be hitting here, and they say the first one should probably hit sometime Thursday morning. Yay. Sounds like mostly we will end up with rain, a little bit of snow, but some winds. So I'm glad we were out and about today talking about the garden. Speaking of the garden, I've already gotten my first seed catalog for the 2021 season. Got everything circled in it, and I'm going to be putting an order together later today and sending it off tomorrow in the post, along with a check for a lot of seed. One of the things we're going to be ordering on this batch is what I grew up knowing as Indian corn, which now they call it colored glass corn or something like that. The kernels are different colors of the rainbow. They're kind of pretty. We're going to have some gourds ordered and pumpkins for the pumpkin patch. Now, one thing I was at, or haven't been asked about rather, other than what I mentioned earlier, the 3 ways of growing crops, are genetically modified organisms, GMO. I will be dealing with GMO seeds and heirloom seeds. Now, heirloom seeds can have their genealogy traced back centuries. Genetically modified seeds that will be used here on Nelson Creek Farm are not the GMO seeds that everybody's wigging out about. Those GMO seeds are created in a laboratory to be resistant to a specific chemical herbicide. Now, since I'm not using any of that chemical herbicide here on the farm, it doesn't make sense to have those seeds. Now, what seed I will have that is a GMO or GMS, if you will, is something that happens in nature. Let's take, for example, yellow and white roses. You've got yellow roses on one side of your sidewalk, you got white roses on the other side, okay? Between hummingbirds, bees, and whatever cross-pollinating the two, eventually you are going to have, instead of a dark yellow rose, a pale yellow rose, and instead of a white rose, you're going to have some sort of a funky colored rose. It might be variegated, might be white and yellow. So that's cross-pollination. That is also a GMO seed, but it's done organically and naturally. Now, if we do use any of those seeds here in the garden, that's what we're going to be using. Not the variety that is designed in a laboratory to be resistant to certain herbicides. We're not having any of that here on the place. Let's see, what else we got going on? Oh, somebody asked me about the old Rust and Dust Acre hat that everybody keeps seeing me wear. Well, Rust and Dust Acres was the name of the farm. We played with rusty tractors out in the dirt, which is dusty, so thus the name. Well, a buddy of mine, and it's been in a video here a while back, found the personalized steel sign that says Nelson Creek on it, and we've placed that by the creek. So that we got running through here. So we've changed the name to Nelson Creek Farms. What else have we got going on? I still haven't made up any decisions on whether or not we're going to close down the Facebook group of Nelson Creek Farms. If you are interested in what the produce is going to be, when that's available, when we're going to be open for that sort of thing, make sure you find the Nelson Creek page on Facebook or find it on Google and save it to your phone or computer or whatever. We will be updating with times and availability of product and that sort of thing as the summer progresses and we get fresh produce coming off the field out there. Well, that's about going to wrap up this week's video on things that are going on here at Nelson Creek Farm. Still too cold, damp, wet, and the ground's froze rock hard in places yet, so we can't get out and stir any dirt. So in the meantime, I'd appreciate it if you guys would bear with us until we get something going on, which will be starting to happen probably end of February or middle of February or so. So in the meantime, tell all your friends about this channel, pass the word along, share it, and don't forget right down there, click on subscribe. And when the little bell icon pops up next to it, hit the word all so you can get every one of these videos. And for heaven's sakes, please leave us a thumbs up or thumbs down. Let us know what you think about these videos. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do so in the comment section in the YouTube channel there. Just remember to keep your comments clean and that sort of thing, because there are little children that have subscribed and are watching this channel. Anyway, Pete in upstate New York does his own little farm video, Just a Few Acres Farms. And he's been doing something called dad jokes. Personally, I find a lot of these silly jokes very funny or humorous. You get a chuckle out of them. And yeah, everybody needs a laugh with all this COVID-19 thing and the election that's going on and whatever. So I'm going to start doing my own version of it, and we're going to call them grandpa jokes. So I will tell you what this one is for this week, and you'll have to stay tuned for next week to catch another one, and so on and so forth. Anyway, this week's little dad joke is, how do you keep someone in suspense. I'll see you next week. I'm Farmer Dave. Have a good one.